never get free. Lamb to the slaughter, what you gon' do when there's blood in the water? The price of your greed is your son and your daughter. What you gon' do when there's blood in the water? Look me in my eyes.
Hi guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now, this is what if Deku is a pure-blooded werewolf. Is a pure-blooded werewolf. Part 17. Woohoo. Didn't really think this one would get this far. I didn't think I will make this one, this long. So, we're almost at 20. So, there's that. Alright. Let's get some information down before we begin our story. Now, I'm changing Toga totally differently. So, Toga is... Okay. Toga's, mother is a pure-blooded werewolf. She's a pure-blooded vampire. But her dad was a human, so Toga's a half-breed between a human and a vampire. Now, normal churn vampires can't, reproduce, but purebloods can because they're a wholly different species. So, there's that. Toga's family line is not from, a royal line of the purebloods. Not even nobles. They're just purebloods. They were exiled. She was exiled because of her involvement with her husband being human and all. That was major law that, they broke, and they got banished from the vampire society. That's how I'll make this work, so, that's how I could, get it all together. And, now, you might be thinking, wouldn't Deku and, Lilith smell a vampire on her? It's a mixture, it's a different scent, so they don't know what that is. So, let's continue, let's get this story going, because I've already wasted almost 3 minutes of this, so let's get to it. After they get All Might to, a safe distance away from everyone, we're gonna cut to, as Izuku and Lilith walk through the pack house, as Lilith grabs Izuku and drags him to his room, shuts the door. She's sitting on the chair, just irritated. Now explain. As she's getting answers, fine. As he sits in the bed, as she gets up and sits next to him, as he explains it. After our mall trip to get, hero stuff, I guess, a crazy blonde girl came from behind me with, a silver knife of all things. As he explains, says, she's irritated, not at him, but at, the nerve of this girl. But her scent was odd. She's like, what do you mean? I don't know. I never, smelled something like that before. It's very odd. I don't know. I can't pinpoint it. But the one trouble thing is that she knew I was a werewolf in the beginning. Given, she was using silver weaponry. As she's thinking, Lilith gets up as Izuku's looking at her, as she places her forehead, on his forehead gently, and she's like, I'm not mad at you, Izuku, but when I find that girl, she's dead. As as she, steps away, and she's like, I'll be back later tonight. I have some things to take care of. As you know, candidate, rush knocks. As Lilith opens the door. As sir, you have a visitor. Alpha, you have a visitor. They're in the study. Yes. Thank you, sis. Thank you, Kennedy. As Lilith, kisses Easy on her cheek. As she's like, I'll be back later. As she goes off to do her, vampire things to do. She's running the whole, running the whole species. So she's got to keep track of everyone and stuff like that. So as he gets into his office, as he sees, Alice, the leader of the supernatural hunters. So I don't have her picture anymore. Unfortunately, I think I deleted it on accident. But if you watch this whole series to the point where we're at now, you know who I'm talking about. And she's sitting there drinking tea. And she's like, huh, you're finally back. As, Izuku's like, huh, what do I owe the pleasure of this visit, Alice? Oh, nothing. I just want to, come by to make sure, to guarantee that my organization and you, and especially your pack, are on good terms. As Izuku's like, no disrespect or anything, but why would you even care about our, the werewolves in general? Normally we won't, but you're a special case, Izuku. After all, you have connections in the royal family of the vampires, the royal vampire royal line, considering you're married to the queen, and that's not even including that you're the last of your kind. You're the last pureblood living. So your survival is very important to me and the new direction I'm taking this order in. As he's like, surprise. A little bit. And she's like, why would he be, why would that matter? Figure you guys would be happy if, I kicked the bucket. She smirks a little bit. No. Maybe my predecessor, the one who was running this organization before the family, but he was very unstable. He let feelings involve with the order's activities. I'm not like that. You're the last of your species, Izuku. Yeah, you could, turn, humans into vampires, but there will never be, another pureblood. Unless there's there's a female pureblood we don't know about, but that's neither here and there. We'll be keeping tabs on your clan, on your pack. And she's like, what do you mean? Don't worry, we're not spying or anything. We're just we like to keep an eye on pureblood, the last one, to make sure you don't die. It's fair to say. She's like, you'll be seeing a lot more of me, Izuku, Silver. Oh, before I go, be careful. As Izuku's like, what do you mean? I hear you're going on a little field trip in the forest. That's the perfect time for, an ambush. You take this information as you wish. See you around. She's like, oh, by the way, I do love the house. Very, very cozy for a house full of a house full of werewolves. And actually, I wasn't expecting this scenery. It's actually like a family. As she walks out, as Kinde, escorts out, as Izuku, it's sitting there on his desk as Kennedy walks in. And she's like, brother, what's wrong? Gather all our best warriors and our best scouters immediately. As she's like, yeah, I'm on it. As you know, no, sorry. As you said, gathers, yeah, okay, yeah, she gathers majority of the people as the ones she can't reach. Izuku summon them back to the pack house. So, he doesn't, he does use the method of talking to all his packs through, through that nifty ability that he could contact them through their mind. But he normally doesn't like using that because he doesn't like to invade people's mind like that. That's not the type of thing he likes to do. So he only does it for special cases. So this is a special case. You excuse me for a second. Okay, and I'm back. And Kennedy, before you leave, get the location of the training ground we're going to. She's like, yes, Alpha. She runs off and get everyone as easy to contacts, you know, pack members that she can't reach. As a couple hours, come by, as Izuku, is in the meeting hall. It's a big, room for, pack meetings. As everyone's gathered there in their chairs, it's a big table. It's kind of like an office table, big one when they do meetings and stuff like that. So as they're all sitting there talking, as Izuku walks in, with his, with his laptop, as they're all shut up, as Kennedy, did you get it? As she hands a USB drive, and she's like, all right, Pac. The reason I called you here today is because apparently the school's doing a little training ground trip. I don't know if he already knew about it, but let's say he just found out about it. So, there's that. As he's like, it comes to my attention that, the Principal Nezu didn't really take into account that they might get attacked. So I know, hero-wise, a Razorhead will be there. And maybe, if it's a training ground, then there's probably maybe a couple more heroes. I don't see them having a whole lot, judging how the heroes been running around with their head cut off, and All Might's been going crazy recently, ever since the USJ attack. As they're like, Alpha, what do you need us to do? It's simple. As he points out, as he plugs the USB drive into his laptop, as he plugs it to the big screen, and it's like there's like a monitor in the room that's a wall. It's like it's embedded in a wall. Futurized. As he, actually no, as he puts the USB drive in the wall TV. I guess we'll call it the wall monitor. As he loads. It gets all. It reads the drive as it pops up the picture. As what is this? This is a location. We'll be me and Kennedy will be going to. I want you guys to scout the area and make sure no uninvited visitors comes. And if you sense any scent that not supposed to be there, contact me immediately. And you lot, if in case shit hits the fan, don't engage until my command. Do you understand? It's like, yes, Alpha. We'll be going tomorrow, apparently. So I want you guys out. I want you guys out there immediately. As they go off. As they gather their stuff, what they need to do as they go to the forest. And he's like, brother, like, how did you find this information out? I don't think the teachers hasn't been saying anything. And usually Lilith would know something about this, but she hasn't said anything either. Alice of all people told me about it. I wasn't, sure, but it adds up. As, there's that. As she's like, so what do you expect? You're expecting we're going to have trouble? As she's like, as he's like, yes. It's the perfect chance for those League of Villains to attack. Because they haven't, announced them. No, yeah, they have announced themselves as the League of Villains already. So, a group called the League of Villains that attacked us at the USJ. Because, Izuku would have wolves try and, have some of the packs keep, a close eye on things ever since he backed off from the League of Villains. As like, League of Villains, you mean that group we were following a while back ago? Yeah, them. Apparently those are the group. So if they're attacking, then yeah, we'll need the pack assistance. Just be on guard. And she's like, yes, Alpha. But what about, aren't you going to tell the Azawa? I will tell him when the time comes, if it comes to that. Yes, Alpha. As we time skip, to the next day. As Izuku gets into the gate of the school, there's that. As Lilith has been waiting on him, he's like, it took you long enough. As Izuku's like, well, I do sleep. As she's like, I sleep too, not technically, but whatever. As she wraps her arms around him as she's like on his arm, and she's like, come on, we're gonna be late. As Izuku's like, you still mad? I'm not mad, I'm just irritated. And she's like, okay. As Izuku's thinking in his mind, she's still mad. As everyone, the day progresses, as they go onto the bus. As, I don't know who I made class president. I think I made Kennedy. Darn it, I should have. Well, it doesn't really matter. Everyone gets on the bus. That's everyone talking about their quirks and all that. They're talking about their quirks because Sue goes up to Izuku, but do you have an actual quirk? She's just curious. Like, can your species get quirks? Like, I know some animals get quirks, but that's very rare. And considering how I just realized, what you really are, I'm just curious. As he's like, no, I know he had a quirk. I don't know. It was just, I just gave him a random thing, like, a poison bite or like a paralyzing bite. So, don't know. It would be like a poison, because let's just say it's a poison bite, because a venomous would become from a snake. So let's just say it's a paralyzing bite that he's able to inject the person with. It has to be contact by skin puncture. So as he says, yes, I actually do. As everyone's looked at him. It's nothing too like. It's not all that cool, but it's. I have a poison bite. She's like, what? And it's like, yeah, it's a bite that I'm able to paralyze someone. And the only way to unparalyze is someone, for them to consume little of my blood. Is the only way to cancel out the quirk. As, everyone's, kind of scared a little bit. And she's like, but why didn't you use it in a sports festival? Because there was no, like I said, it's not a it's not a useful quirk for that instance, and I don't feel like biting every single one of you. And the chance that you might turn as like what as yeah, I have full control over who I bite and who I turn, but there's the always off chance that that could happen. As they're like, yeah, I didn't want to be bit by Izuku, especially how his as she's like, but speaking of your werewolf abilities, um, what type of you're really big when you're in your full wolf form, I guess you would call it. She's scratching her chin or cheek a little bit, or her forehead. And she's like, yeah, just call it that. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I come from a special line of, of my species. As he does air quotation marks. And everyone gets onto the, as all right, everyone, shut up, we're at our stop. As they get all off the bus. As Lilith was with Izuku the whole time in the same, next to him. There's that. I just didn't mention it. Sorry, guys. As they get to the as they all get out of the bus, as everyone's like, as everyone's on the edge of the cliff, as they're like all looking at the sights, being idiots. As Izuku's standing there against the bus, so is Lilith and Kennedy. As Pixie, they're not really paying attention to Izuku and his group. As the Pussycats explaining what they'll be doing. As they got all thrown off the cliff, like in canon, except for Izuku. And she's like, huh, that's not very teacher-like. What do you think, sis? Yeah, she's like, yeah, that was kind of mean. Well, they're kind of idiots for standing in front of the cliff like that. Figure they're doing something weird ever since they pulled at the front of this cliff in the beginning. As Lilith is, this doesn't care. That's just, now we should go hit in our cars and get there and see if they get there before us. And they're like, wait, where's, as he's always like, but where's Midoriya? I didn't see him on a cliff. Or his wife. And his sister. As the Pussycat's wife, they're like, yeah, Izuku is married to Lilith. Or they're three are the most popular, most powerful people in the class 1A. As they see him. As Izuku's like, hey, Eraser. And she's like, so, what you want me to do here? Apparently, there's a purpose for this exercise. So you want me to just jump off the cliff and, do that? And she's like, yeah, that would be best. All right. As, Lilith's like, getting irritated. Like, seriously? I have to get myself, I have to get dirty for this. As she pulled in Izuku's ears, like, I'm riding you when you transform. But you're transforming so I could ride you on your back. Do it now. And she's like, all right, Jesus. As he fully transforms into his wolf form, his werewolf form, as Pixie Bobs are kind of scared. As she's like, what is this quirk? As or is your head? Oh yeah, it's a mixture of two. It's a transformation quirk, and he could do whatever a wolf can do, apparently. As he doesn't know how to explain this because there's that. Yes, they understand, but it's still kind of scary. As as Kennedy folds in her wolf form. Now I'm saying because of Izuku turned her that she's able to transform when oops. Sorry guys. That was loud, even on my part. Anyways, I'm just saying his bloodline, as he bit her, she's able to transform from human form to wolf form whenever. So there's that. So that's why there's not a there's not a that's why they don't have to wait until every full moon to transform, because that's kind of lame. So I know, like, whatever. I just don't want that to be that way. So that's how it's gonna be. So as Ezekiel turns, as Lilith gets on. No, as Ezekiel picks her up, because he has no, let's have her ride on his back, as as she gets on, as they jump off the cliff, as Ezekiel instantly knows what to do. So animal instincts and all, as he easily goes down the cliff. So does Kennedy. As they land, as they hear a couple kids screaming, as he's like, darn it. As they run off, as those golem creatures, whatever, as they're about to smash one of the let's just say Momo is about to smash her, as suddenly Ezekiel bites the wrists of the golem, as he's going pretty fast and a lot of might, as the golem kind of loses balance and turns a little bit, as Lilith jumps off Ezekiel, as she punches the thing in the face, as things down, as the flying one comes and swooping in, as Kennedy jumped off a couple trees, slammed on his wings, and proceeded to bite the golem until it stopped moving. As Lilith comes over and stomps on the thing to make sure it's dead, and she's like, "Come on." As Ezekiel howls, get everyone's attention. As like we're all he explains we're all sticking together, working as a team. So as the the people that uses long range attacks are in the front. People in the defense are in the middle. And the ones that doesn't have, defensive capabilities or, offense are in the back. As Ezekiel, he's in the middle somewhere. There's that. So, let's continue. As, they get through the forest. They take out a couple of them using teamwork and all that stuff. With Ezekiel using battle experience. Ezekiel's been a busy, werewolf, during, his, trip to Japan from Alaska. So, there's that. As everyone gets there, a little faster in canon. So, as they all get their, food get ready, all that, as the teachers get in, and it's like, huh. As is always like, you used teamwork, didn't you, Izuku? It's like, yeah, that was the best chance. They were gonna get themselves killed. And she's like, huh, I need to, I had like that. I eventually, the class would have got their, they got their, stuff together. But with you around, it takes, makes things a whole lot easier. As that goes on. Sorry. It's through, the, through the day, they're talking about what they'll be doing there, as, I forget who would, no, not, Izuku wouldn't go up to Koda, because, he doesn't care, really. He sees a child there, and he's like, what is, as Izuku, as is all, who's the kid? As as one of the pussycats, that's my nephew. I think that was his nephew, or I'm his aunt. So that'll be his nephew. So whatever, we'll just say it that. As he's family related to one of the pussycats. I don't know all of them. I don't know if they're all related, or I don't know the whole relationship between the team. But she just tells him that that's his nephew, or whatever. I could be completely wrong in this, but let's say for story's sake, that's how it is. Let's say Koda's mother is her sister, so now that's Koda's aunt, so that would be his nephew. Oh, that's my nephew, Koda. And she's like, yeah, as she explained it briefly about what happened, as Izuku understands, I understand. As let's say red-haired kid, car. Let me pause this real fast. I'm back. I totally forgot his name, so I didn't remember. I didn't find his name. Kirishima. Kirishima gets the Koda treatment, as Koda proceeds to punch Kirishima in the regions as he falls down to the ground. He's like, "Kid, that was so unmanly." As he's doing that. As Koda runs off, as Koda's aunt, one of the pussycats, I don't know which one is, I really don't remember. As she sighs, as Izuku's like, huh, I like the kid already. As they go off to their training, as the pussycats train, as Lilith and Izuku goes off to do their own training because pussycats really can't train them anything because they could body them instantly, really. So as Izuku and them are sparring, as Izuku goes for a couple combinations, as Lilith grabs Izuku's arm, bends it behind his back, kicks his foot as he goes flipping, as he lands on his back, as she pins him down. As like, that's a little bit rough, dear. As she's not really, she's looking at him like angry still. As she's like, I knew you were still angry. As Izuku, just touches her cheek, in like nice, like softly. As he's like, you don't need to worry. I'm I'm a one woman kind of guy. As she releases the grip, she's like, fine. Guess fully forgive you. As fully. As Ezekiel says, yeah, I wasn't mad, but I haven't fully forgive you until now. She's like, let's get back to training. As they're training a little bit. As Lilith's like, Izuku, a idea popped in my head. As he's like, what? Have you ever tried to partially transform into one of your bodies in your human state? As he's like, what do you mean? Just do what I say. Transform your hand into your full wolf form. Let's try to get it down. As he tried a couple times, as he, after an hour, he kind of does it. As he's like, huh. I'm kind of irritated that I didn't think about it myself. As he puts his, he de-transforms his hands into regular. As he hugs Lilith. And she's like, thanks. And she's like, what? He's like, what do you expect? As she says, Flip said you're married to me, so that's what happened. So as we're gonna, as they get into the camp. It's getting late as everyone's like, where's Coda? Like everyone's asking, the teacher's asking where's the kid, has anyone seen Coda? As Izuku's like, I could find him if you needed to. As she's like, really? Like how? My quirk. I could do a wolf with a wolf. My quirk, could do whatever a wolf can. So I could definitely track the boy. He's the young Coda. Thanks. As Izuku, brings some food. And she's like, I think it was Madeline, I think it was, but I'm not totally sure. I'm not totally sure, but she asked, well, what are you doing? Oh, the kid might be a little bit hungry. It's getting kind of late. So I'll find him. I'll have him eat, then we'll head back. As he goes off. This is not the attack of the, Vanguard Action Squad. This is just before the attack. So, I probably won't get into the attack in this episode, but, we'll continue. As Ezekiel finally gets to the cliff where he's at, as he sees Coda, as he's like, huh, there you are, kid. As he's like, what do you want, Faker? As he's like, huh, Faker, you wound me. As he's like, what do you mean, kid? And it's like, you only want to be here to be, famous and all that. Heroes don't care about anyone besides themselves. Don't care who they hurt. As you're like, explain. And he's crying a little bit as he's like, huh. Because it's like, you would understand. As he's like, truth, kid, I didn't want to be a hero. I think it was retarded. That's because like, what? Then why are you here? As it's simple. My dear wife kind of forced me here. So, there's that. And but what you said earlier, I do understand, kid. I understand more than you realize. As he begins to tell him about, he feels kind of like kinship with the boy. So, he lost his family, lost the majority of his family. He Coda doesn't realize he has his aunt, but as he explains and Coda understands, as he sniffles, stop crying. But kid, you're not alone. You have your aunt. And he's like, what? It's like, yeah, you're not totally alone. Your aunt always, yes, your parents, are gone. So are mine. That we cannot change. But what we can is protect what family you have left. As you see, his aunt, waiting a little backwards. She overheard everything. He left out the vampire and werewolf sections of the story, how his parents died, but there's that because he's just a kid. So as Kudo runs over to his aunt, as she says, "Thank you, Izuku. Your name was Izuku, right?" As he's like, "Yeah, thank you." As they walk off to the camp, and that's where we're going to leave it off. The next part will be the attack. That's going to be interesting. So I hope you guys have a good day and night, judging my time zones. All right, bye.